team, we're starting here from Performance by Design with a short video to introduce you all to Performance by Design, my teammates, the work that we're about to embark on March 29th and 30th together. I'm going to run through the agenda for the days and also in this video explain some of the homework that you have leading up to the March 29th, 30th kickoff workshops, as we like to call them, and then also just touch on what's going to happen after that. What are our expectations moving forward after we do this training together in Los Angeles? So first and foremost, we are Performance by Design. We are a leadership development and high performance culture consultancy where our purpose is to help our clients take the chance out of their culture. But ultimately, we want to do that because we want to optimize your team's performance and also optimize your leadership effectiveness, okay? So on the days in March, we're going to work through our PBD process. You're going to be meeting myself and also Paul Roos, my business partner, Australian football legend, both as a player and a coach, who really revolutionized the way that sport is coached and conducted inside of our country. So we're going to leverage our work from pro sport and bring that into the corporate sector to help us become more of an optimized team, if you will, and really elevate our teamwork. And you'll also meet Chris Olsen, who's also a team member based in Los Angeles, okay? So you'll have all three of us there for the 2 days, okay? As far as the agenda is concerned, okay, we're going to go through the Performance by Design kickoff process, and then we're going to tailor some of the work on the second day. The fundamental process is broken into 4 parts, okay? Number 1, on day 1, we're going to spend some time really getting closer and defining our purpose, our values and behaviors as a leadership team inside of City National Bank, okay? And inside your division of the organization. So it's really who we are and what we stand for as a leadership team, okay? About 2 or 3 hours really diving into that with a focus on behavior. We know that behaviors drive results. We also know that culture is not so much defined as our parties, perks, and ping pong as it is around the behaviors that we accept and reward of each other. That's critical. It's a critical distinction because there are some misconceptions in this space. And if we want to drive a high-performing organization and lead and become role model leaders, we must be clear on the behaviors that are holding us back from being the best we can be and the behaviors that we need to role model and display and reward of each other. So that's a really critical phase in sort of the first half of day 1. In the second half of day 1, earlier in the afternoon after lunch, we're going to dive into our insights discovery reports, okay? There's some homework, which I'll talk about in a minute. Inside of this is a little bit like a tool like Myers-Briggs, but we are going to use it inside of our work so that we can not only learn more about ourselves and our individual preferences and styles and communication styles, but also use it practically to build stronger relationships with each other, okay? That's the really important part of our work. Everything is about the team. Okay, everything's about how do we get better as a team and leverage our unique skill sets, strengths, and mitigate those weaknesses that we might have and really lean on each other and become more focused on supporting each other as a team, okay, within your organization. So that's the second, that's just after lunch. Then on the back end of day 1, you're going to then present your story. That's also a piece of homework, which I'll touch on in a minute, okay? And the reason for the Your Story exercise is to really get you sharing not only your story, but also practicing storytelling. Much of leadership is influence, and being able to convey a message and tell a story is critical to your success. But also it's about being a little bit vulnerable. And we know that vulnerability done right is a trust accelerator. It builds dollars in the trust bank, as we like to call it. And so by the end of day 1, we'll have a bit more clarity on who we are and what we stand for and the behaviors we want to reward and challenge of each other. We'll have greater understanding of our individual differences and communication styles, and we'll have deposited a bunch of dollars into the trust bank by sharing your story in small groups, okay? Then I think we're going to go out for dinner that night, hopefully. And then on day 2, we're going to really tailor and dive into the real talk. What we're known for at Performance by Design is the skill and ability to give and receive feedback with the intent to improve performance because we care about each other and the team. We call that skill real talk. So we're going to train and we're going to practice it. And we're going to practice using the Real Talk framework in a number of different contexts, okay? So I've had lots of great conversations with Linda and Caroline and Michael Buck and a few other leaders. We're going to really tailor that second day so it's impactful. And on the back of it, we then run an implementation meeting about 2 weeks later where we take all the data from the 2 days together and we then say, right, what are we going to do now differently moving forward? How are we going to systematically put dollars in the trust bank and consistently train and practice Real Talk, knowing now we have a reference point, which is that culture code with the clear team behaviors, and we have a better understanding of our individual profiles and communication styles and so on, okay? We'll also have data from the Real Talk training that we can leverage and use moving forward. So that's a high-level outline of the day and a half, 2 days together. And then the implementation meeting is really, what are we going to change now moving forward and the way that we interact to really optimize our leadership effectiveness and really empower our team to make more decisions and take more action without the need of us as leaders, okay? That's critical for success, knowing that right now you're going through a lot of adversity, a lot of change, a lot of uncertainty. We must empower as leaders, okay? So that's the high-level agenda for the day, or the 2 days. Your homework, do your insights discovery profile survey. 26 questions, takes about 20 to 25 minutes to conduct, okay? Please do it usually early in the morning when you've got no interruptions. You don't want to get interrupted doing this. You just want to stay nice and focused for that 20, 25 minutes. And then also prepare your story. A little brief introduction to yourself and maybe some things that the team don't know about you. And a person that you admire, okay? An achievement you're really proud of, and an adversity you've worked your way through. Each presentation will be about 6 up to 10 minutes, okay? You can create a PowerPoint. You can bring physical objects, okay? You can do it in any which way, shape, or form. Do not feel obliged to do a wonderful PowerPoint or do a song and dance. Show up as yourself. If you want to do that, by all means, go for it. But really, it's about sharing your story in that safe environment with your teammates, okay? So that's the homework. And I said off the back of the kickoff days, we're going to implement, we're going to make change the way that you interact. We might improve some of your meetings. We might eliminate some of your meetings. We might change the structure as well. That's going to be really critical. Changing the structure of how you conduct your meetings so that we keep driving an inclusive environment, which brings up that psychological safety for us to be able to have and share Real Talk, okay? So that's all 3 things covered. An introduction to performance by design, the agenda for the kickoff days and the implementation afterwards, and your homework leading up to it. If you have any questions, as always, please give us a buzz. Looking forward to meeting you all on March 29th and 30th in Los Angeles. Cheers for now.